Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful day, and we are absolutely thrilled to bring you the latest updates from Port Charles. We always love diving into these stories with you, exploring the twists and turns that keep us all on the edge of our seats. I have to tell you, my mind has been racing nonstop about the brewing storm over at the Quartermain mansion. When I look at Tracy Quartermain, I see a woman who is an absolute force of nature. We all know that when she loves with a fierce, almost terrifying intensity. Her devotion to her family, and especially to her granddaughter, Brook Lynn, is the stuff of legends in Port Charles. Right now, Tracy is on high alert, and when Tracy goes into protective mode, you better believe that sparks are going to fly. I find myself holding my breath every time she comes on screen because you can just feel the sheer power of her determination radiating through the television. To really understand what is driving Tracy right now, we have to look at poor Brook Lynn. Bless her heart, Brook Lynn is an absolute nervous wreck these days, constantly jumping at shadows. She is carrying the heavy, terrifying secret of her connection to Jordan Ashford's hit-and-run accident, and the guilt is eating her alive from the inside out. Tracy might not know the exact, gritty police details of that terrible night, but a grandmother always knows when her child is drowning in anxiety and fear. I can just see the wheels turning in Tracy's sharp mind. She senses that Brook Lynn's marriage to Harrison Chase is under an immense, invisible strain, and Tracy is absolutely determined to protect that marriage from collapsing, no matter who she has to bulldoze to do it. Because Tracy is so hyper-focused on eliminating any threats to Brook Lynn's happiness, her suspicious eyes have locked firmly onto Willow Kane. And honestly, I cannot blame Tracy for being worried. We can never forget that Willow and Chase have a profound, deeply emotional history together. They were married, they sacrificed so much for one another, and they shared a bond that was truly beautiful at the time. That kind of connection leaves an invisible string between two people, a lingering comfort that never entirely fades away. Tracy remembers all of this perfectly, and she knows that old flames can easily spark back to life when the conditions are just right. And the conditions right now are dangerously perfect for a spark. Let us talk about Willow's current state of mind. She is going through an absolute nightmare with Michael right now. Their marriage is fracturing in ways that seem beyond repair, and she is caught in the middle of a bitter, exhausting family war. When a woman is that emotionally battered and feeling so incredibly vulnerable, she desperately needs a safe place to land. And who in Port Charles is safer? Who is more naturally comforting than Harrison Chase? I can completely understand why Willow might lean on him for support, but I also see exactly why Tracy views this natural gravitation as a 5-alarm fire threatening her granddaughter's life. This brings us to Yuri, and oh, my heart just aches for him. I have always had such a soft spot for Yuri. He is such a sweet, loyal, and steadfast presence at the Quartermain estate, usually just trying to do his job, protect the family, and keep the peace. But Tracy Quartermain does not care about peace when her family is at stake. She is relentlessly pushing Yuri, backing this good man into a corner and forcing him to act as her personal spy. It makes me so incredibly anxious to see a decent person put in such a terrible moral dilemma, forced to sneak around, eavesdrop, and report back on the very family members he is supposed to be looking after. The incident that really set all of this dangerous meddling into motion happened down at the gatehouse. Yuri was already stationed there, just going about his regular duties, when he witnessed something that changed the entire trajectory of this story. Chase and Willow were there, unloading luggage together. It sounds like such a simple, mundane, everyday chore, doesn't it? But if you have been watching these traditional American family dramas as long as I have, you know that there is no such thing as a simple chore. I can just picture the scene so vividly, the quiet isolation of the gatehouse, tucked away from the chaotic prying eyes of the main mansion, creating a dangerously intimate bubble for the two of them. In that quiet, secluded moment, Yuri saw that Chase and Willow were sharing some very private time. It was not just a matter of passing heavy bags back and forth. There was a distinct closeness there, a shared emotional weight hanging heavy in the air between them. I get absolute chills just thinking about what Yuri must have observed in their body language. The hushed voices, the lingering glances, the heavy sighs of two people who are carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders and finding a brief moment of solace in each other. They thought they were completely alone, blissfully unaware that Tracy's sharp eyes were watching their every move through Yuri. Tracy, of course, is not the type of woman to just let a vague suspicion go. Oh no, she is digging her heels in with everything she has. She is interrogating Yuri like a seasoned detective, taking every little breadcrumb he gives her and baking a whole loaf of paranoia. I find myself gripping the edge of my seat because Tracy is using this gatehouse information to build a serious case. She wants to know exactly what happened during that private time. Was it just friendly comfort between two exes, or did they cross a line? Tracy is absolutely determined to find out if there is something truly suspicious going on, and she will not stop until she has the whole truth. And then comes the absolute bombshell that changes everything. Yuri does not just find evidence of a little innocent flirting or friendly comfort. He uncovers a massive, earth-shattering secret that Willow and Chase are hiding together. When I learned about this, my jaw practically hit the floor. A massive, hidden secret between two former lovers, right at the exact moment when both of their current marriages are in states of extreme, fragile crisis. It is the perfect recipe for an absolute disaster. I cannot stop turning it over and over in my mind, wondering what on earth they are concealing and how much damage it is going to cause when it finally comes to light. This massive secret is the ultimate turning point for Tracy. It takes her everyday, overbearing, grandmotherly meddling and elevates it into a dangerous, full-blown obsession. She is no longer just a concerned relative. She is a matriarch on a warpath. I can feel the intense heat of her desperation right through the screen. She is absolutely terrified that this massive secret is going to shatter Brook Lynn's world into a million pieces, and she is willing to do whatever it takes to protect her granddaughter's marriage. It is a fierce, almost frightening kind of love that blinds her to the collateral damage she is about to cause. Because of Tracy's new, relentless obsession, Willow is suddenly in an incredible amount of danger. And the most tragic part is that Willow probably has absolutely no idea what is coming for her. She is so entirely consumed by her bitter, escalating war with Michael and the collapse of her own home life that she does not realize Tracy Quartermaine is out there, quietly sharpening her claws in the shadows. I am so deeply worried for Willow. She is already so emotionally fragile and overwhelmed, and crossing swords with a fiercely protective Tracy is a brutal battle that very few people ever walk away from unscathed. It is also just so tragically ironic when you step back and look at Chase's position in all of this mess. He is this honorable, dedicated Boy Scout of a detective, currently pouring all of his professional energy into solving the mystery of who ran down Jordan Ashford. He is out there desperately looking for a criminal in the streets, completely oblivious to the fact that his own wife, Brook Lynn, is deeply connected to that very crime. He is living in a house built on a foundation of lies. And now, by harboring this massive secret with Willow, he is adding his own stick of dynamite to a home that is already primed to explode. The tension hanging over the Quartermaine estate right now is thicker than molasses on a cold winter morning. Every single time I think about all these beloved characters living under one giant roof, smiling at each other over breakfast while hiding these massive, life-altering secrets, I feel this huge knot of anxiety form in my stomach. It is classic, beautiful, heartbreaking storytelling. It reminds me of why I love these stories so much. Because the biggest, most terrifying threats do not come from villains breaking down the front door, but from the quiet secrets kept by the people sitting right next to you at the family dinner table. I am sitting here on pins and needles, just waiting to see how Tracy is going to use this explosive information that Yuri has brought her. Will she confront Willow directly and threaten to destroy her life if she doesn't back away from Chase? Will she try to manipulate Chase without revealing what she knows? Or will she keep this massive secret tucked in her back pocket, waiting for the absolute perfect, most devastating moment to strike? Knowing Tracy's history, she will carefully choose the path that inflicts the maximum amount of damage to her perceived enemies while throwing an iron shield around Brook Lynn. But as we all know, secrets have a funny, cruel way of exploding in the faces of those who try to control them. I honestly cannot wait to see how this incredible web of secrets and lies finally unravels. The emotional stakes have never been higher, and every single person involved has so much to lose. Will Brook Lynn's fragile marriage be able to survive the devastating double blow of her own hit-and-run guilt and Chase's massive secret with Willow? Will Willow find any peace in the midst of her crumbling life, or is she destined for even more heartbreak at the hands of Tracy Quartermaine? I will be watching every single second, feeling every single emotion right along with them, and I just know in my heart that it is going to be an unforgettable, tear-jerking ride.